Hello, this is Caleb Barney with Russell Real Estate, and today I wanted to go over the Northeast Ohio housing market and what it looks like right now. So, as of this recording, it is March 13th, so we're basically in the middle of the third month here in 2023, and I wanted to go over what we're looking at here in Northeast Ohio and kind of how that relates to the national housing market. So, as I've said in many of my other videos, there is no such thing as a national housing market. There is definitely going to be statistics that they can take overall nationally, but each housing market is going to function very differently. So, the Cleveland, Ohio market, which is where I'm located, is going to function differently than Nashville, Tennessee, or Miami, or Austin, Texas, or anything like that. So, just keep that in mind. You can definitely look at national headlines, but just take it with a grain of salt and make sure that you are talking with a real estate professional who's local to your area if you're looking to buy or sell or invest. And make sure that they back up their opinions with statistics or facts as well. So basically, what we're looking at here, I've heard a lot of pundits say basically that the housing market has already started to see a decline, especially starting in the latter half of 2022. As you can see here, this right here, I actually chose from 11 school districts that I serve most frequently. These are a lot of the closest school districts to me, so I'm not going to read them all off, but you could see that information here. And basically, there's 48,000 listings here calculated over the past 4+ years or 5 years then. So 5+ years, I should say. So essentially what we're looking at here in 2018, houses in those 11 school districts were selling at $111 per square foot on average. That bumped up to $115 in 2019, $124 in 2020. $141 per square foot in 2021, $152 last year, and so far, obviously, incomplete data for 2023, but we're bumping that up even more in 2023. So when you actually look at the results from 2022 versus 2021 on a year-over-year comparison, the average price home actually increased a little under 8% year over year, which is very good. Honestly, it's still a little high, and realistically, homeowners, of course, want to see that number keep going up. But as far as what inflation is doing and everything like that, honestly, it would be healthier if we were around the 3 to 5% increase in home value on a year-over-year basis, as long as it's keeping up with inflation. Which again, inflation's high, so I'm fine with seeing that 8%, but that's basically what we're looking at there. So you might be wondering if I have just been cherry picking the data, because 2022 started out the year in January at 3.1% interest rates. It peaked in late October, early November at about 7.37% interest rates, so more than doubled. So you're thinking, okay, well, maybe the latter half of the year really trailed off. And I can only honestly say that about December of 2022, when we had an anomalous $130 per square foot that it sold for. So you can see the chart here, but that chart really does nothing for me. So I'm just going to go down here, broken down on the price per square foot on a monthly basis, and then also by the year. So you could see, again, year over year, we've seen increases basically since 2019, even 2018 as well. It's just not every year is always going to see an increase. But when we're comparing just the past few years, the COVID years essentially, again, COVID didn't really take place until March of 2020. But you look at January of 2020 versus 21, 22, and now 23. February, same thing, going up, up, up. And then March, which this March data is incomplete. So I would actually just not include this as far as what you're thinking, because that data is going to change. But Basically, you will see some seasonality. That's why they call it seasonal adjustments too. You're going to see peaks and valleys, and that's just because we live in Northeast Ohio and not a lot of people want to buy or sell in the cold months. So you'll typically see the latter half of the year start to decrease in price, as we go through these. So that's kind of the case last year. Starting in June, we were at $159 a square foot, dropped down to $151 for the next 2 months, $149, $148 for the next 2 months, and then again that anomalous $130 a square foot in December, which again, if you're thinking about interest rates, late October, early November, they shot way up, so maybe buyers were able to negotiate a better deal. My thinking is that might just be an outlier, honestly, because it's back up in January, February, and March so far this year. And then as far as getting deals, the other thing I like to look at is how close to list did the property actually sell for. So if it was listed for $300,000, did it sell for $300,000? Above that, below that? Basically, for the past 3 years, 2020 through 2022, we were selling at list on average. Yes, there were plenty that went well above it, but then some that sat on the market because they were overpriced and sold below it. So far in 2023, we're at 98.8%, and that's still very good when you're looking basically all the way back to 2014. With the exception of the COVID years, that's going to be your highest close price to list price ratio right there. So yeah, that's basically what we're looking at here in Northeast Ohio. As you can see, we really are not seeing any drop off so far. We are seeing a little more days on market, but when I ran the numbers for that, I believe we are at just about 30 days on market for February of 2023, which, other than last year, was the lowest out of any February dating back to at least 2014, which is where my data goes to. So Northeast Ohio is still going strong in housing. If you have any questions about particular areas in Northeast Ohio, or if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest, please feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to talk with you and see how I can help. Thanks, and have a great day.